Do you refrain from sex whilst you are training? Yep. Damn. Yeah, I'm pretty exhausted, to be quite honest, and I don't think I'd be a very good lay at that moment in time. She deserves a lot better effort than that. Sorry, babe. Hi, I'm Heath, 7-time Mr Olympia, and right here is the honesty box where I'm gonna open this up and answer all these questions. Okay, what's the best and worst thing about being swole? The best thing about being swole is that you're bigger than everybody else. The worst thing is trying to find freaking pants when you have, wide shoulders, you have a big frame, but then smaller waist and you have big legs. You just got to find a good tailor. And it definitely doesn't hurt to spend a little extra money so then your pants fit correctly. Are you insecure about anything? I was insecure about my physique. Absolutely. Because I'm trying to produce something that very few people in the history of mankind have done. So, yeah, I think a level of insecurity is sometimes required for people to be of high performance. You would say, "Oh, you're insecure about your stuff." It's like, no, man, this comes with my passion. So to allow people to just crap on your passion it hurts. So you try to protect yourself and remind yourself of who you are and that you have great self-worth. But yeah, there's sometimes you have levels of insecurity. The goal is to not use that as a weapon onto others and make them feel bad. What you need to do is realize, I just am so happy about what I do have. Why the fake tan? Well, when you're a bodybuilder competing on a stage where there's tons of harsh lights, you're using that tan to accentuate the definition and all the hard work that you put in. Without it, you would actually be whiter than this sheet of paper right here. Now, this is a good one. Do you refrain from sex whilst you are training? Yep. Damn. Yeah, I'm pretty exhausted, to be quite honest, and I don't think I'd be a very good lay at that moment in time. She deserves a lot better effort than that. Sorry, babe. But after the show, and I'm carved up, oh boy, we ready to rock and roll. Are you actually healthy when in competition state? I would say I'm healthy to the degree that I can perform at the highest level. Unhealthy as far as massive dehydration? Absolutely not. But that only happens for about a good 36 to 48 hours. And after that, we rehydrate as quickly as possible. That's why if you look at those labels when you sign up for a gym or take a supplement product, it always says consult physician before doing it. So, there's risks of everything, but you got to know what your blood work is. You got to know what your ailments are. And if you don't know, you need to know now. What are the judges actually looking for in a competition? They're looking at symmetry. They're looking at proportion, size, and conditioning. The level of detail for each body part is very, very important. So when someone says, "Oh yeah, I'm ripped," and all they have is ripped abs and they have no muscle here or here or here, that's a problem. For all those bodybuilders out there, focus on the proportions. You can't just have an upper body and no legs looking like you're a chicken jockey. And then of course you got to be mindful of doing that extra cardio so you can get all the nice definition that pops out on stage. Are steroids cheating? Only if you play baseball.
Is steroid use allowed in the Mr Olympia competitions?
That wasn't the question. We'll pass on that one. What's your opinion on PEDs in bodybuilding and in sports in general? Well, they're definitely apparent in all walks of life. Even CEOs of Fortune 500 companies do them. My opinion is that, do they know their blood work and are they taking care of themselves the most healthy as possible? That's the biggest issue. What are people's worst gym habits? Being on the damn phone on a bench for 5-10 minutes and not doing anything. You could have done that in the lobby. So that's one of the worst gym habits, along with leaving your dumbbells and your plates around, or even leaving your freaking plates on the machine, knowing that there's some person that wants to use it. So clean your plates and put your dumbbells back on the freaking rack. Is it a hobby or an addiction? Now, they're talking about bodybuilding here. I think the hobby becomes an addiction, because once the hobby of bodybuilding, you start seeing the body transform, you start getting these things called endorphins, right? And then next thing you know, you start seeing your body transform into something beautiful. And you want that feeling over and over and over again. The minute I did my first bodybuilding show, right after I received first place, I was hooked. I wanted to compete that next day and that next day, and then I realized this takes a lot of freaking effort. So I was able to turn my hobby into a career. What's the biggest scam in the fitness industry? Fake coaches calling themselves experts when they are an expert at nothing. Do you Photoshop your photos? That's what you micro-influencers do. How much do you eat in a day? I'm ranging anywhere from 4,500 to 7,000 calories a day, but it's a whole lot of freaking food, and my food bill is enormous. Is Arnold Schwarzenegger the GOAT? If so, what made him so great? Arnold Schwarzenegger is the GOAT, and here's why. He was able to do something such as win Mr. Olympia 7 times, just like myself. However, is what he did with that mentality and that body of work on that bodybuilding stage, transcending his body with his mind, getting into acting when he was told that he could never do it because of his accent. And let's be honest, out of all the actors in the world over the last 30 years, we know more lines of his than any other actor probably. And you don't have to be a bodybuilder to do that. But he also did such things as obviously being in politics and stuff. And all of those things collectively came from his relentless desire to be a bodybuilder. It takes a lot of intelligence, a lot of self-belief, a lot of positive, mantras, and always having the confidence, creating that swagger that we saw on that bodybuilding stage and even in those movies. Can you spell Arnie's surname? SCHWARNEGGER.
You missed the Z.
Oh, of course I did. Sorry, Arnie. Should women be allowed to compete against men? Sure, if they want to lose. How prevalent is body dysmorphia in bodybuilding? Body dysmorphia is definitely on one of the biggest topics in our sport, especially internally with all the competitors, because each and every day we're always striving for excellence. And any time that we notice a little bit of fat here or a little bit of fat there, or we're not as muscular here or not muscular there, we start to feel a little weird. But how we alleviate that is by just accepting ourselves, knowing our worth, and continually just striving for better each and every day. How long would it take you to train one of us in this room to be as big as you? I hope they believe in reincarnation and die and come back with better genetics, because I don't think I can do that for 7 times. But I do say I could train all of them to be a greater version of self. Does your lifestyle make you happy, or are you always striving for further perfection? I'm happy no matter what, right? And I have moments that I'm not so happy, but I will say that I'm always going to be striving for absolute perfection, because I have high standards and I know it requires a lot of attention and intention of just minding every minute of the day, every hour, every day, every week, every month, every interaction. All those things matter. And when I fail at those things and I don't get what I want, I realize that I'm not happy. And I have to always go into self-reflection and say, do I really like this? Do I really love this? Am I really passionate about this? And if the answer is yes, I figure it out. Do you think you could do any other sport to an elite level? Well, I was pretty close in basketball. And I do believe if I were to start all the way over, I would have been really good at football, American football. I'd probably been a really good running back. And probably would have been damn good at boxing. How often do you think the average person with a full-time job, kids, etc., should work out? Honestly, you should be working out. You can work out 30 minutes a day. There's no question you can work out 30 minutes a day. There's 24 hours in a day. And I'm sure if you took an audit I mean, hell, people use their phone more than 30 minutes a day, scrolling, looking at nothing of value. So maybe do some squats next time you're just scrolling. See how great of a workout you could do then. But don't be the guy walking around with their phone like this, doing cardio around town, because you might get hurt, okay? Would you be good in a fight? I'd say so. Especially if I'm trained properly. I mean, I can pick up 200-pound dumbbells with each hand. Imagine if I was afraid. And with that type of aggression, oh man, I think someone will get really hurt, and it ain't gonna be me. Do you worry about the impact that bodybuilding will have on your physical well-being as you get older? Actually, I feel like being a bodybuilder will impact it in a better way because I know how to eat, I know how to train, and I know how to read my blood work. I know how to fix my own problems, and I know when to lower the weight, and I know when to increase the weight, which is always going to keep me healthy.
Our careers sort of, in a way, marry each other and are intertwined with each other along the way. And we never sort of had that defining WrestleMania moment.
True.